How's it going, guys? Welcome to Vivid Mini Mods. Today I'm going to be creating a Necromunda Hound based on a Wendigo. To start with, I got the Hound model from Age of Sigmar, and I'm going to be attaching a dry piece of milliput to the neck to elongate it slightly from the head. Once I was done, I then chop off the tail and get ready to attach the flail. Once that's attached, I then do the same with the head. For this, I'm going to be using a skull from the Citadel Skulls box. One of the horns I already used before, but I can still repurpose the skull for this model. Now that's done, I begin dissecting the legs. Sorry to all you animal lovers out there, but this model's going to be far from a cute little dog when I'm finished with it. I then clean up the stumped limbs, ready for the new arm attachments. For that, I'm going to be taking something from the Gene Stealer Cult box. For the front limbs, I want to create something terrifying in this beast, which is why I'm using more human hands than the Hound ones which I already had. This combined with the unnatural scythes which I'm going to attach as well, creates an otherworldly appearance to this monster. Here I am attaching the second set of fore-limbs, which are the scythes, again from the Gene Stealer Cult box. The hardest part about attaching these limbs is trying to find a suitable place to put them, as this model is not meant to have arms come out of the side of its body. Now create the base using some Das air-drying clay and some more Citadel skulls, and now I'm going to begin to attach some more milliput around the neck to create a furry ruff or mane for this monster. For this creature I wanted to go for the effect that it had a short ruff around its neck with the skull head poking out from it. And to do this I'm going to be creating some fur using the milliput, but you could also use some green stuff if you like. To start with, I did a few tests on the milliput to see how the sculpting tool would affect it, before beginning to go around the bottom of it. I then worked my way up, doing little, short, sharp dabs with the tool. I continue to work my way around. Just try not to pull a bit too much off there. And then going back over layer by layer to create the short ruff. Now to the back, you can see I built a bit more confidence now. This is after all my first time doing fur on a model. And it's just a matter of just building up the layers. Don't try to do it all in one go. Just start at the bottom. Here I'm using a needle to create a bit more fine effect with the fur. but it doesn't quite work properly as the needle picks up some of the milliput. Now that's all primed, I begin with some brown paint on the body of the model. And then decide to paint the ruff in a bright red to draw attention to it and towards the head as well. For the claws and the scythe limbs, I decided to create a wet blend effect, starting with a light brown at the bottom with the red at the tips. You can see how I wet blend it, using a little bit of pink and a little bit of red and trying to match them up in the middle. Just a matter of going back and forth between the two colours until you get a nice smooth blend between the both of them. Now let's done and move on to the skull, base colour of Army Painter's skeleton bone. After done this, I then do a slight white blend of white paint onto that, and then completely cover the model in a light brown homemade wash. I then go over the skull again, edge highlighting with some white before eventually going back to that skeleton bone paint, as the white's a bit too bright at the moment. When doing edge highlighting, you want to slowly build up the colours rather than go into the brightest colour first. Here I mix a bit of edge highlighting with some dry brushing. And now you can see I come back in with the white again, just picking out the lightest parts of the model. I then begin dry brushing with some light browns as well, before going back mixing some skeleton bone paint in with the brown, building up lighter and lighter shades until I leave it with just the skeleton bone paint on top for the very brightest highlights. Now for the scythe, I did the same, but this time with barbarian flesh. Oh, not meant to go on there, just give it a quick wipe off with the finger, and it looks good. After this, I added a bit more white to the barbarian flesh, and then did the same on the ruff. With small details like fur, you can't really build up too much, just gotta go in there with some bright colours to start off with. Here you can see I've really dialed up the contrast now, to almost pink colour for the mane. This is the finished model on the turntable. This is just a nice, easy, quick conversion for you today. Just something anyone could knock up with a few extra pieces lying around. I know the Gene Stealer cult box has quite a few arms spare, so just finding a Hound base body and some skulls from the Citadel skull box could easily knock up yourself. And this model will make an interesting addition to any Necromunda game, whether it be in a rogue monster that your gangers find in the depths of the Hive City, or even a loyal companion to one of your gang members, a faithful hound that has been mutated by toxic sludge. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again soon.